The day has finally arrived, Judgment Day. You didn't think that Dungeons & Dragons could get worse? Well, it just got worse. What is going on? Well, Wizards of the Coast have taken the first step in going fully digital. They have embraced the nightmare future of D&D. What the hell is happening? Wizards of the Coast are no longer selling physical books? Well, not exactly, but they have removed the option to buy physical books as individual, discrete purchases from their website. Now, if you want to buy a physical copy of the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, or the Monster Manual, or really any D&D book directly from Wizards of the Coast, you gotta buy either the digital version on D&D Beyond or their hybrid bundle, which is the D&D Beyond version and physical book combined. Luckily, however, this only concerns buying directly from Wizards of the Coast right now. It doesn't impact places like Amazon or your local store, so it's not the end of the world. You can still buy the book separately from third parties, for now at least. And I'll be honest, I've never bought anything directly from Wizards of the Coast, and I don't recommend that anybody does. But I will say, when you type Dungeons & Dragons into Google, it is the WotC website that is the very first link at the top of the search result, just above Wikipedia and Bad Dragon. What do you mean search results are based on your history? They tailor that? Cut that bit then. And it will be newer role players who therefore find their way to this website and pick up these digital bundles. Now, at first, I thought that when you bought this bundle, you get a PDF copy of the book directly emailed into your inbox. But I was wrong. On the website itself, Wizards of the Coast state that you buy this bundle, you get a digital copy of the book in D&D Beyond. And I find that a little sinister. It seems like the goal of this change is to primarily onboard newer role players into the D&D Beyond ecosystem directly. If all Wizards wanted to do was provide a convenient digital copy of the book, they'd just email it to us directly instead of forcing buyers to log into D&D Beyond to get access to the content that they bought. And this is a pretty drastic change. In fact, before this, you couldn't even really buy products directly from Hasbro Wizards at all. When you clicked into this section of their website, it used to direct buyers to third-party retailers, including an option for your local store, which was pretty cool. Now it has changed to only offering you the choice of buying digitally on D&D Beyond or buying digitally on D&D Beyond with a physical copy thrown in. And that's a pretty clear business equivalent of a demented weather vane swinging madly in circles, a warning of things to come, like that massive tornado on the horizon. This lines up perfectly with what leakers over at Hasbro Wizards warned us about earlier this year. And we know for a fact that Wizards of the Coast want us to be primarily engaging with Dungeons & Dragons in a digital way. That's why they've thrown millions of dollars into building a new virtual space for the new edition of D&D. Hasbro executives probably dream of a world where role players seek to buy the D&D Beyond copy of the Player's Handbook first and the actual physical book second. In fact, probably not even getting the physical book at all. I mean, really, when you think about it, getting rid of the books altogether would just be a lot easier for the executives at Hasbro Wizards. And while I don't think that they'll ever say no to selling physical products, I mean, money is money, and limited edition collectibles, for example, make far too much of it from their favorite demographic of big spenders. It is simply the case, though, that their relationship with physical media is changing. We can read a lot into this change. Hasbro Wizards executives are demonstrating that they're happy to raise the floor price of D&D, and therefore obviously take a loss on physical book sales sold through their website, in return for locking new players into the D&D Beyond ecosystem. Their preference is that everyone buy at least partially into digital, and they'll sacrifice physical sales to get that. Because this is a price increase for anyone not interested in the Hasbro Wizards server-reliant, always online digital version, like me. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you want to give me a PDF version of an RPG book for free, I'll take it. Hell, I'll take sandwiches for free. That's why I eat out of trash bins. But if I want to buy a physical book, I want the option to buy the physical book at the price of the physical book separately. This doesn't feel like an unreasonable ask, but I guess here we are. And if this book is included in a bundle at $70 and you can't get the book any other way, then I'm afraid to say the price of the book is $70. And this is particularly jarring considering the fact that when you buy a physical RPG book from most other RPG companies, they'll just email a PDF copy of the book to you directly into your inbox as a courtesy for free. It's just added value to them. But with Wizards, you gotta pay. Remember, D&D players are under-monetized. And that means that there's going to be less people buying the physical copy of the D&D books as a result of the fact that the only way to buy it now is in a more expensive bundle. Add on top of that the fact that Hasbro Wizards recently increased the recommended retail price of their physical books, and it really seems like they just don't care about physical media in the same way as they used to. And if we put on our amoral loafers, the just doing my job shirt, the is what it is tie, mental gymnastics cufflinks, and I just got paid enough to assuage my conscience sunglasses, and really consider physical media, then this all starts to make sense. After all, Hasbro Wizards and us just came out of COVID. We came out of a major shipping crisis, and now we face a changing world where China is no longer offering the same cheap exploitative labor anymore. And even at the best of times, if everything were perfect, if we're dealing in physical media, then we'd have to deal with printing costs, storage, warehousing, shipping, and then the distributors and retailers taking a cut. Physical books of D&D just aren't as profitable as digital copies, because seriously, compare physical products to digital ones. Selling you a D&D Beyond digital book is the Shelley the Machine Levine of product offerings. There's direct sales, so no distributor or retailer taking a cut. There's no middleman, there's no costs aside from some underpaid writers, but you'd have to pay them either way until you get the AI up and running. And you don't even have to pay shipping. You don't have to print anything or warehouse anything. You can't accidentally create too much stock. Digital books are 100% profit. Really, digital sales make you a god. You're making something from nothing, and that something is a whole lot of moolah. It makes sense to throw everything into digital sales from a purely amoral financial perspective, which is a perspective that Hasbro Wizards as a multinational billion-dollar corporation subscribe to. I can see why they'd want to transition as utterly as possible from the realm of the physical to the realm of the digital. Going digital provides you the ability to become a vertically integrated company where you control both the manufacturing and supply start to finish. And this leads to monopolization, the dream of every single corporation. They don't want competition. And selling digital bundles only from D&D Beyond when you click into the website is a small step in that general direction. It is putting digital products at a parity with physical products and is a means to get buyers comfortable with buying digital goods and get them into the D&D Beyond ecosystem in anticipation for future products like the upcoming 1D&D 5.5, 6E, new D&D, D&D 5E2, Electric Boogaloo, releasing primarily on the D&D Beyond platform. And I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but this could have been done right now so that it wouldn't be weird when the new D&D comes out without an option to buy it physically outside of a bundle on their website. If that had happened, then it definitely would have gotten a lot of press, as the new edition would have been associated with headlines exclaiming, "Digital or nothing, says Wizards of the Coast." But now they can shrug their shoulders and say, that's how we've always done it. This has nothing to do with the new edition. I don't know, maybe not. Might be a bit of a stretch. But one thing's for sure, this is just the beginning. Digital offerings open up the ability to control distribution in innovative new models. And thanks to leaks from Hasbro back in January, we now know that subscription fees are on the docket for the new digital 1D&D virtual tabletop, whatever the hell that thing is gonna look like now. And while Wizards did deny those leaks at the time, they were very careful in how they worded their denials, specifically saying that there would not be a $30 subscription fee. Not necessarily that there would be no subscription fee at all. So we're probably going to see a similar thing for D&D Beyond. Or D&D Beyond will simply get folded into the new virtual D&D system, subscription fee included. And shockingly, I've seen some people welcome this because they want access to content on D&D Beyond for a monthly fee rather than having to buy everything separately. And I sort of get this perspective, perspective, the amount of content for D&D that you can buy online, including all the faff like dice skins and cursors or beanie babies or whatever, can all add up in price. But we've got to be careful about what kind of deals we're willing to make here as a player base. Subscription fees may seem convenient and cheap at first, but these are a little bit of a devil's bargain. Hey gang, Bob Mammon here with a pretty slick deal. What would you say to getting access to all the content in your favorite RPG, Dungeons & Dragons, practically for free? That would just be a dream, right? Well, pinch yourself, buddy, because I'm about to make all your dreams come true. With 2 words. Finance! That's right. Here at Hasbro Wizards, we're on a mission to monetize our players in new and exotic ways. And while we've been focused on figuring out which members of our audience suffer from compulsive spending disorders so that we can better monetize them by utilizing lessons learned in the gambling industry, we haven't forgotten about you too, the feckless cheapskates who just want to play some D&D with your friends for as little money as possible. And now we're catering to your needs as well, because we're all about inclusion here at Wizards of the Coast, even for Generation Rent. And we know how much you love owning nothing. Or at least, you know, you've never put up a fight before. That's why we've rolled out our latest scheme to siphon dollars from our under-monetized players by no longer selling permanent access to the mandatory books required to play our games. Instead, we're going to offer a subscription fee. That's right. You can enjoy an indefinite payment plan with simple, interest-free monthly repayments, meaning you can hop straight onto the hook to get access to all the core Dungeons & Dragons content as defined by us. And probably get ads. Yeah, we're probably gonna throw some ads in there too. Talk about a great deal. Think of it like taking out a payday loan from your friendly local multinational multi-billion corporate conglomerate obsessed with excess. Best part is, it never ends. You'll be paying this subscription fee in incrementally increasing amounts to account for inflation every couple of years for decades and have nothing of value to pass on to your spawn when you slip into the endless sleep of oblivion. Basically, it's the interest repayments on your student loan. I've heard that you know all about those. I mean, sure, you could just stop paying at any time, but then we'll rip all your content away from you as easily as pulling fingernails from a baby. No, I think that when you discover that the last 2 years of products that you bought from us relies on a recurring fee to access, and that you can no longer play in your best friend's game unless you buy back in, you'll remain ensnared in our digital panopticon and remain hooked up to our branded product as the singular expression of an entire lifestyle hobby. But hey, think of the gains we have made. If you have a particularly awesome D&D session and want to thank your dungeon master, you'll be able to seamlessly gift them some astral diamonds so that they can buy a cool new hat for their digital avatar. How awesome is that? It was all worth it, right? And that's why you'll never want to leave. You're going to owe nothing. I love it! Yeah, as a DM, you can just borrow my book at any time, no charge. That's kind of the joy of physical media, or at the very least, PDF files outside of a walled garden and closed ecosystem. And look, this might be a little hokey to say, but I personally feel uncomfortable with the idea of players at my table having to pay money to a third party like Hasbro Wizards just so they can take part in my homebrew campaign. I don't want to ever be in the situation where I'm reliant on the servers of a company to stay up so that I can run my game. I don't want to be in a Diablo 3 launch scenario here. And I don't want to ever feel like I'm subject to a company's whims about what type of content is acceptable or whether or not content that I've already bought should be changed or even removed. Hell, I really don't want to have to put up with their increasingly desperate monetization strategies and psychological tricks designed to get me to spend more. There's a reason I don't play as many video games anymore. I just want to own things, and yet my printer wants me to subscribe to it. I'm not interested in this world that is being constructed around me. There's businesses that finance sofas. It's a bad idea. No one should have to take out a loan to get access to books. You shouldn't need to make another account account. You shouldn't have to worry about forgetting another subscription service and have it take money out of your bank account for months on end after you forgot about it, just like that gym that you're still signed up to since that 2020 New Year's resolution. Boy, that was a bad year for New Year's resolutions. Additional options, innovations, these things should be liberating our games and expanding the possibility for us to play in, not holding it back. So yeah, it's not a huge deal that Wizards have stopped selling physical copies of their books directly on their website, because they never really sold them directly on there anyway, except through retailers, and we can still buy books separately from retailers. However, the fact that they're not offering those books outside of a digital bundle now does show the general trajectory of how things are going and what Wizards want. Well, you know what I want? I want libraries to be cool again. Let me borrow the physical book if I want, and then pay a reasonable price so that I can keep a copy of it on my shelf if I desire that, and no one can take it away from me. And if you want to see how this will all end, or at least the bit before the collapse of society, then check out this video here. And if you want to support this consumer first content, then please check out my Patreon, where I have bonus videos, live streams, and secret discourse channels where you can hang out with me and fellow patrons directly. Link in the description below. And a huge thanks to my patrons, especially Sonic Bread, Crypto Kev, Mistress Arby, Novany, and Travis Hunter. Thank you so much for your support, guys, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye bye.